Famil Tech.
Hi guys, welcome back. In the previous video, I have finished how to model a building. Now let us go to defining properties. First of all, I'll tell you what is defining properties. Defining property is none other than defining the sections, that is a dimension of beam or column or all the property, all the component of the building, including the slabs. If you are going to give a shear wall, you have to define the dimension of so and so. So in our model, the basic concept, I've just kept beams, then columns. I haven't considered floors, that is slabs, because I'm going to directly give it as slabs. So this is the basic thing you have to know, what how this defining property is going to be work. So let's jump on to this model. So this is our model. How to define the properties. This is the first thing we have did, that is in the geometry. Then the very next thing what is this appear below to that is general. If you click on to this general, there is 1 2 3 and 4 5 tabs are aligned in this manner. So the very first thing is property. So we have to define the property. You have to define out of what material it is made of, or what dimension it is made of. So we have to define, you have to give the input of the dimensions, cross sections, and all the properties of materials. So in Stadd Pro, everything, all the properties of the material, there is all the Poisson ratio or whatever the scientific principle you have to take on in calculation, it is inbuilt in itself. So I'll tell you how to define these properties now. So there is a tab called define. So this is edit, I'll tell you later. First just click on to this property, then you just click on to this define is the one you have, which will help you to define the properties. The very first thing after clicking property, you just click on define. I'll tell you the all the other tabs later. So this is the options available. So these are the properties. Whether you, if you are going to give a circular column, you just click onto the circle and give the diameter, just add. Then if it is going to be a rectangle one, just click on and give the dimension and give add. Or if it is going to be a T-beam or something which looks like trapezoidal, or you just click on to this, the image will appear, which will help you to understand the shape which is going to be modeled. So here most of the time we are going to use rectangular, so I'll consider just rectangular column and also rectangular beam. So there are two different dimensions, basically, that is for one for the column and another for the beam. Mostly I'll take the column as a square column, so I'll take 0.4 meters by 0.4. After entering to it, after entering the dimension, just there are various material available: concrete, aluminum, steel. Most probably will be using concrete and steel. These two most probably we will not be using. So I'll take concrete. If you want to design with steel, just go with steel. So now I am going with concrete. Now if I am going to add, this screen will not go. See, it has added it is made of concrete and the dimension. Now this is for the column. Now again I am going to add for beam. In beam you have the thing, sorry, in column, we have assumed the column has to be in square column. So there is no problem in imagining which is going to be the depth, which dimension is going to be the depth out of this two, yd and zd. In beam it is not like that, it has to be aligned properly. So you just look onto this image. The zd is the width and yd is set to be the depth. Normally we know that in a beam the depth will be more than its depth, sorry, the depth will be more than its width, because it is due to the property called moment of inertia, area moment of inertia. If you do not know about this property, I have made a video on that, you just go and take a look on it. So this is the yd. So wide is going to be 0.4 while the width is going to be 0.3. So we are providing the depth higher than the width, and we are going to add. Okay, let's close it. These are the two properties which we have added. So this is the which we have created. Sorry, these are the two property which have created. We haven't assigned it to the building. So how to assign this? There is you have to select each and every beam and select the property which you want to assign. Other way is go here, select and select beams parallel to. Here one more point I have to tell you is, in Stadd Pro both the beam and column are considered as beam. There is no separate thing for column or a separate tab for beam. Each and every component with except the slab is considered as a beam. So there is no beams, there is no column here, there is beams and plates alone, so don't confuse yourself. Beam is also called column is also called as beam in Stadd. So in the direction of X you have to select all the beams, because beams are aligned in the direction of X. If you click onto this will be appear that all the beams in the x-axis are selected, and again these are also beams in z direction are also a beam. So I have to select these lines which are also assigned in z direction. So same, select beams parallel to z. Now you have selected all the beams. So if you want to view this beams alone, just go to this view selected objects only. If you click onto this, the columns which are not selected will be gone. You cannot see those things. So these are the thing you are considering as beam. So just select all the things, select all the beam. This is for the beam, this dimension is for the beam. Just click on to this assign to selected beam, just click on assign, yes, then this property will be assigned to this. If you want to see the 3D image, just right click onto this, then click on 3D rendering, then you can see this is the 3D view of the beam. So let's jump on to this column. If you just click on to this to make view all the whole structure, now I have to select each and every column. So the same method, select beams parallel to y. So you have selected all the beams which are parallel to y-axis. Another method which may not be applicable here, but you can use in somewhere else. See, by click on select all the way to the down, you can see, or by missing attributes. These are the things which are missed without assigning to this building. So we have assigned the property to the beams, and the only element which we haven't assigned the property to is column. So if you want to select column, you just give by missing attributes, it will select all the elements which are not assigned with whatever the thing you are going to give. If you have missed the giving the property for elasticity to the column, you cannot just click on to this elasticity. But here I haven't assigned the property to the column, so all the beams are assigned with the property. So I have to click to this so that all the columns are getting selected. So sorry, the very important you have to keep in your mind is, first you have to select this property, then you have to select to all whatever you have to assign, all the components. So this is the property we are going to assign. So all the columns are selected, assign to selected beams, assign, yes, that's it. Now you can see, go to 3D rendering, you can see all the 3D view of the property. After the properties are assigned, this is the how it is going to be viewed. So this is the second step of the Stadd Pro modeling, that is different properties. Then the next is for supports. I'll come up with the next video in providing support. Thank you guys.